Hey everybody, I'm that one person. Welcome back to Spongebob Squarepants, Battle for Bikini Bottom. My throat hurts because I've been doing... This is the third video I'm doing in a row. And frankly, I'm probably gonna keep going. Because, like, I forgot how fun this game was. I know I said it was one of my favorite games of all time, but I hadn't played it in a while. To be perfectly honest with you, I've been a little bit addicted to Friday Night Funkin'. I've been playing that game a lot. Maybe I could do another video. Maybe I'll make a Patreon exclusive video. Me just playing through a bunch of Friday Night Funkin' mods. You guys probably won't watch that. But it's gonna be fun. I got some serious ones. I got some dumb ones. That'd be a good idea. Or maybe it wouldn't. God, this game's waterfalls are so loud. They're so loud. This is one of the worst mechanics in this game, by the way. I hate the stupid wall jumping thing. It is nothing like you would expect from a wall jump. It's not anything like what Mario 64 would have or anything like that. Also, yes, I did intentionally fall off. I'm not just being stuff over here. If I'd have remembered that there was nothing particularly of interest up here, though, then I probably wouldn't have gotten it. God, that. Why are the waterfalls so loud? There are just some sound effects in this game that are just so loud compared to all the rest of the sound in the game. And I don't know why. But I will try to get out of this area as quickly as possible. Also, I have water here because my throat is hurting. Oh, that's refreshing. This is good stuff. Just regular old ice water can be pretty good sometimes.
Bubble Buddy! Gosh, everyone is trying to help out today!
Step quietly there. That king jellyfish is just up at the top of this path. Good luck. You'll need it.
Thanks, Bubble Buddy!
Alright. Train of thought. I guess it wasn't really good.
I knew the king jellyfish was big, but who knew he had such a beautiful voice?
I don't know if that health bar is supposed to be there yet. There's definitely supposed to be a boss theme playing right now. Or at least like a mini boss theme. Also, yay, the loud waterfall sound effects. There we go. Wait, I think I know how I can trigger the boss theme. There it is. I'm kind of surprised that worked actually. Alright, so this game isn't exactly perfect. We've probably figured that out by now. Especially based off the not fantastic looking health bar. It's an old game, what can you say? But at the very least, for a kid's game, most of which don't have that much effort put into them, let's be real, a lot of kids games are clearly just made as like a cash grab. This is pretty good. Clearly not a cash grab. Alright. But now the boss scene is stuck playing.
It shines.
Okay, so as I was saying, most kids' games are made as cash grabs. This game was clearly not. You know what I think might have been a cash grab, though? The remake for this game. Okay, that's a little bit harsh, I guess. But, like, I'm not a fan of the remake of this game. And I have a whole long list of reasons as to why. So I guess we're gonna move right into that now. Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated was a game that came out fairly recently, I feel, or I think. At the very least, it's certainly not all that old. As you probably figured out, it's a remake of this game that we were playing at this very moment. And when it was first announced, I'll be honest with you, I was really hyped and not at all skeptical of it. Because that remake is one of the big reasons why I'm skeptical of remakes. I mean, the game wasn't bad, I guess. It's just, for a remake, it's supposed to be the superior version, right? So then why is this one the superior version? So, I'm gonna try to go into an in-depth analysis of why I prefer this version. Also, completely off topic, that loading screen kinda looks like it has a scary face. Do you see that? Like, behind all the bubbles? Do you see it? That's besides the point. I always thought that it looked like this. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that feels so much better.
It just looked like dead center of the loading screen. There's just a scary looking face.
Anything for my best friend Squidward. Can I rub some on?
That's creepy.
What if I just gave you this?
Okay, so the remake of this game came out fairly recently. I was hyped when it came out, or when it was coming out. I even bought it on the release day. But that's a fairly common thing for me because it's not like I'm in a community where a lot of people are gonna flood the stores and everything and prevent me from getting a game. A lot of the time it's just like, I have some spare money, this new game came out, I'm gonna go to Target and get it. And sometimes that works out. Like with, how about Pokemon Legends Arceus? That was a good game. Sometimes it works out better than I thought it would. Like with, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which I did buy. And I got a neat little magnet set to go along with it because I bought it from Target. So that's fun. But other times, it's Battle for Bikini Bottom Dehydrated. That's kind of mean. But like, I have a lot of things to say about it, and most of them are pretty negative. But there's gonna be a little cutscene.
Downtown Bikini Bottom, once a bustling metropolis, now a debris-covered crater.
SpongeBob, the robots are destroying downtown Bikini Bottom. We have to evacuate!
All right, but it's gonna take a while to get all this dust.
Not vacuum, evacuate! We have to get everyone to safety.
Can we just load them up in the boats?
That won't do any good,
Why not?
because the robots have taken all the steering wheels.
There was literally 2 in that one shot.
Couldn't we just drive in a straight line?
No, there are too many turns.
Those fiends, they thought of everything. Never fear, Mrs. Puff. I'll get those steering wheels back.
SpongeBob, if you're involved, I always fear. But I tell you what, if you can pull this off, I'll give you a golden spatula.
How about a driver's license instead?
Nice try.
For a second, I thought my OBS said that we were 0 minutes into this video,
Number one
and
in
I
the Bikini Bottom
dumped.
Scavenger Hunt. 3 years running. Thank you.
But we're fine. I mean, I guess that there's... I don't know, I thought a 9 was 0, because it's hard to see from a distance. Rehydrated, that's what I'm talking about. So... It's like there were some improvements made for that game, but all in all, it wasn't... It's not that the game was not... It's like the game made some improvements. I think the thing that disappointed me the most was that they kind of didn't live up to what they had said they were gonna do. I think part of that was because apparently the game was rushed a little bit to line up with the US release date of the movie Sponge on the Run, which didn't end up coming out on that day anyways, because, you know, the whole, you know. Come on. But like, there was a lot of things that were left out, even though they said they were gonna do it. For me personally, the thing that bothered me the most was that they openly advertised that they were going to restore unused content. Like a bunch of unused levels and things. They straight up said that they were going to do that and put them into the game. And as you know, I love unused content because I talk about it frequently.
Sometimes pushing a simple button is the most satisfying.
For better or
push,
worse.
push, push, push.
But when the game actually came out, there wasn't any... Wow. That was just impressive. They didn't bring back any of the unused content that they said they would. There was no extra final boss phase, there was no unused Patrick themed level. It didn't happen. And that was like the biggest thing that I was excited for. And it just wasn't a thing. So that's false advertising, I'm pretty sure. And like, I'm sure there was other things that they advertised that didn't come to light either. Hang on. Well, I mean, I guess there's no dialogue, so I can just keep talking. But like... Another thing, they said that they were gonna like redo all of the songs in the game. I've listened to the soundtrack. I wouldn't say that they redid it at all. More like they took the original songs and then added like 2 instruments. And like, sure, it's good and all, but like, that's not what you promised us. That's a lie. But I mean, I guess those 2 are still forgivable, because,
Somehow I don't think
I mean,
he
what
needs a
does it
hand.
matter? It's not like a big thing. One of them wasn't even in the original game anyways, so why would you care? Oh, come on. Never mind, we're fine.
Number one in the Bikini Bottom Scavenger Hunt. 3 years running.
But like, it mattered a lot to me that they just would straight up do these things when they, like, they said they were gonna do these things and then just didn't. But I still bought the game regardless, and I did a 100% playthrough just to see every little detail. And boy, do I have things to say about it. I guess one of my biggest problems would be with the graphics. Like, don't get me wrong, they did a good job at making it look better, like HD and everything. Like the textures and everything look nice. The textures, the models, they're nice. But here's the thing. There's a lot of, like, awkwardness and strange things with it. Like, a lot of the time,
#1
models and things. Like, I don't know how to describe this. There's like clear, definitive stopping points in certain animations. They don't flow very well sometimes. I feel like the best example of this would be the first boss, without spoiling anything. Because like when you hit the boss, they won't immediately react. Is the thing. Normally, like in this game or in most other games, when you hit an enemy or a boss, the enemy will immediately stop whatever they're doing and react to getting hit. In the remake, they don't immediately react. They finish the animation they're currently doing, and then they go into the next animation. So it's like, it's hard to tell if you even hit the boss sometimes. And it's like, that's kind of like my biggest issue with the game. It's mostly like small details that the original game did right. Like, I remember before I played through the game, no, after I played through the game, I watched YouTuber Cat Icarus, who, weirdly enough, was mentioned in my last stream as well. I watched him play through the remake on PC on his stream archive channel on YouTube, and like, it was pretty irritating for me. Not because of his own mistakes. I mean, there were a few parts where it was like, bruh, the game just said what you had to do, how are you so confused? But like, that's mostly forgivable. That's just like a normal content creator thing, you know? If it's your first time playing a game, and you're trying to focus on being entertaining and interesting, and also playing a game, that's pretty difficult. But also doing those things while reading chat and watching cutscenes, that's pretty much possible. So I don't blame him for making a few mistakes here and there. That's fine. But like, it was so much more irritating seeing how Caddy would get confused by things because like certain small but important details were not there in the remake, even though they were in the original. A good example of this would be early on in the Jellyfish Field stage that we played before. There was like a little secret that I went to off to the side with these little grassy platforms. In the remake, these grassy platforms aren't grassy. They have the same sand texture as all the areas that are out of bounds. And it's like, the whole reason those things were grassy was to show that they were not out of bounds. So that way you could think, hey, that's different, is that a secret? And then you would go over there, and you would be rewarded for thinking outside the box, thinking, like, even though it's out of bounds, it has the same texture as the things that are in bounds, you know? Maybe I'm being too nitpicky, maybe I am being too specific and nitpicky, but it's like, it wasn't just that one time though. There was so many examples of that throughout the game, and things like the awkwardness between animations and things like that. And the gameplay had a lot of issues. Like, the game was so much more glitchy and buggy than the original, somehow.
This door is locked from the inside. Who would do such a thing?
Most people who want privacy would do such a thing. But anyway, it's like there was so many things like that, and then also the gameplay had a lot of issues. I think one of the biggest examples of like not great improvements to the gameplay was that the movement speed of the characters was changed to be just ever so slightly slower. So what we're walking about right here, this is fine. I could see how it could be seen as a little bit slow, but it's fine. once you play the remake and see that walking speed, it is so blatantly obvious that it's slower. Like, it's slow enough so that it's noticeable to anyone who's played the original, but it's fast enough so that it's like, I don't know, someone who hasn't played the game wouldn't really notice the difference. Like, it would seem just fine, but if you played the original, it would be obvious that something's not right here. And I think the worst part about that is that they didn't change the levels to account for this new walking speed. So, like, a lot of jumps and things are so much harder simply because you're not walking at the speed you're supposed to. Because they messed that up. Man, this is probably very uninteresting for you guys, but like, I gotta get this off my chest, you know that? And then, as I was saying, there were so many more oddities and glitches and weird things that just weren't right in the remake, and it's like, how? I don't know. Again, I'm probably just being too nitpicky and things like that.
Ah, there you are, boy. Someone's broken the sea needle.
Like, even excusing the fact that I wasn't a fan of the new graphical style because this looks a lot more stylized like the older seasons. The new one is more stylized like the newer seasons. I don't, like, sure, I prefer this one's art style in general more, but I still think it's forgivable. Like, that's just a preference thing. That's not like a big difference that affects the game.
That's horrible. The sea needle is the cradle of Crochet Corner.
Yes, yes it is. But what's more important is that there are tikis and shiny objects just outside the windows.
Mr. Krabs, how can you think of money at a time like this?
Easy, I just clear my mind. Money, money, money. Now listen here, boy. You know that I'll give you golden spatulas if you bring me shiny objects. But I'm going to sweeten the deal. If you can break all the tikis here at the Sea Needle, I'll give you a bonus golden spatula.
Why would I want to break the tikis, Mr. Krabs?
'Cause they were laughing at you and calling you funny names.
What kind of funny names?
You know, Spongebob Butt Pants.
That's not very funny.
No. But they said your mom was ugly.
Ugly? All right, Mr. Krabs, break them I shall. You've got a deal.
Alrighty then. But anyway, yeah, as I was saying, like, the graphical style, it's a personal preference thing. I prefer this one, but that's not a big game-changing thing. That's just, I prefer this art style.
What do you experience?
The new one isn't bad by any means. It's just not what I personally would prefer. So that's just not even one of the issues with the game. But I think there's one issue in particular that I have to talk about. Because when I first played through the game, I got stuck at a point where I literally could not 100% complete it. It was literally impossible. Because there's a glitch in this game, I guess not really a glitch, more of an exploit, where in one of the later stages you have to gather a bunch of stone tikis, and you can just climb on top of them and finish the area without getting the third one, which is because you need 3, but you only need 2 to do the glitch, and you can just use that glitch to get to the end and skip the third. Really convenient, really easy, and I prefer doing that stage that way. And yeah, it is technically kind of my fault for doing a glitch anyway, but like, this is a big thing, alright? When I was playing through it, one of the golden spatulas disappeared. Like, completely. It didn't exist anymore. There was nothing I could have done to get it or to find it. It just was never gonna show up because it just despawned.
Bottom scavenger hunt.
Because I
Here's running.
grabbed that
Thank you.
golden spatula, or grabbed another golden. I used the glitch to get the end of area golden spatula before I did that other one. And I don't know if it despawned because I did the glitch, or if it just despawned simply because, well, if he has the other one, then logically he must have gotten this one, right? And they just got rid of it. I don't know if that's a thing, but like, either way, the fact that I was literally blocked off from being able to 100% the game just because of that is ridiculous. Like, I had to replay the entire game, which, by the way, I was already, like, there was all sorts of small details and things like that, and the messed up gameplay, and how everything was just a little bit different and felt so much more stiff and everything. And then the fact that I had to do the whole thing again from the beginning just to get a single thing. Like, yeah, you could argue that I didn't even have to do that. But, like, considering I had 100%ed this version so many times, I felt obligated to. And then the fact that that happened, and I had to do it all from the beginning, just
#1 in the bikini bottom scavenger hunt.
seriously,
Good work,
dude.
boy. Here's the golden spatula, like I promised.
Just the biggest ripoff I have ever put up with. That one small glitch. Like, Jesus, man. How do I get out of here? I'm probably being too harsh and everything. Oh wait, there's more stuff I forgot to mention. Then there was the co-op mode, which, that just sucked. Like, it was just not very good. And it was very long, too. And I think that co-op mode was what they used as their excuse for bringing back unused content, even though they tried to bring back the original content, or the original unused content as it was, and then they just didn't finish it because of the whole rushed thing. But they had small little details of that in the shitty co-op mode, so they did bring it back like they said. No, they fucking didn't. I'm sorry, the co-op mode was trash, and it didn't deserve to be in the game. Like, they could have easily just put another character, just another of the same character, in the main game, and it would have been so much better.
Yes, thanks for noticing. I have been working out. Meow. Not done? Doesn't that mean meow? Oh, that's the entrance to the rooftops, which leads to the lighthouse? Uh-huh. There's another golden spatula. I could really use that. Meow. What do you mean, get Sandy to help me? I can get through this. Meow, meow. Oh, that gap looks big. Okay, I'm definitely not making that jump. How is anyone going to get across there? Uh-oh, more robots. Holy Dutchman's ghost! That gap looks impossible! And impassable! Okay, I'll go get Sandy to help me out.
Alright. But yeah, that's pretty much my whole rant about the whole remake thing. It's like, it's not a bad game. More than anything, it's just a huge disappointment, a huge letdown, if you ask me. But yeah, if you think I'm being too harsh, you're probably right, to be honest.
Too pretty. Can't take it.
It's just, it astounds me that they released it at that state. It still feels like an early beta. This episode's probably gonna run a little bit longer because I want to get to the rooftops area and save, and then
There's another one.
and then I'll end it there.
Cowabunga!
So we're gonna get through this whole section right here. I'm gonna try to be quick though. But yeah, that and another game,
Busy just watching.
specifically the remake of Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, those two games are the whole reason why I'm now skeptical of remakes. And on top of that, I'm also skeptical of the confirmed Spongebob SquarePants and the Cosmic Shake, I think it's called. Which, it seems like it's trying to be a sequel to Battle for Bikini Bottom, but it's made by the same people who made the remake. And that alone is enough to make me skeptical. And then there's also the fact that apparently, like, from the trailer, there was no gameplay footage or anything. Which, I mean, that's probably fine, because that just was there to show, hey, that's going to happen at some point. The game's probably still very, very, very early on, and in no way ready to be shown to the public, which would explain why it wasn't shown to the public yet. Makes sense, checks out. But the fact that it's made by the same people already has me skeptical. And then there's the fact that, according to the Steam page, the game's going to have heavy use of costumes, like as a gameplay mechanic. And I'm not so sure about that, because there was another SpongeBob game that had heavy use of costumes as a gameplay mechanic. SpongeBob SquarePants Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, a game that is so infamous that the game developer that made it, Blue Sky Studios or something, that was their last game because it bombed so bad. And I've played it. I think it might be the worst game I have ever played.
Well, I suppose it'll make Patrick happy.
Yep. It's that bad. So that's something. I'm already drawing comparisons between the worst game I have ever played and the spiritual sequel to Battle for Bikini Bottom. So that's a good sign.
Hey, Larry, what's shaking?
Sandy! Boy, am I glad to see you. I need your help. My TV reception has been terrible lately. I need to have someone replace my old antenna with this shiny new one.
Yes, sir. That there antenna is shinier than a $3 bill. Well, why don't you replace it yourself?
I'm not really much of a jumper.
So, what's jumping got to do with it?
Because the old antenna is up there.
That's not an antenna.
Woo! That's taller than a glass of Texas iced tea.
Couldn't you just get like a ladder?
The robots have blocked off that building, and I can't do all those fancy moves you and Spongebob do to get across these gaps. All I can do is flex! Wanna see?
Yeah, great. So what are you gonna do with the old antenna?
Oh, that? It's yours if you replace it with a new one.
Well, I have been getting bad TV reception in the tree dome. Okay, Larry, you got a deal.
Alright, I'm gonna end this one off here. So, thanks for sticking around and watching this series if you've been going through it so far. If you want to watch more things like this, be sure to subscribe, and maybe check out my Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights series, because, as mentioned before, they're very closely connected, surprisingly enough. Maybe you can even find the connections yourself if you watch that series through. If you want to recommend a game or just have something to say to me, leave a comment. You want to watch more videos like this, subscribe. Follow me on Twitch for my streams. If you like the video, leave a like. If you dislike the video, leave a dislike. I already talked about Patreon, link in description. Yeah, I guess that's about it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.